Hi guys, it's Tina with Radio again today. In this video, I'll be your tutor. Please be my guest. In the previous video before this one, we started our Forex beginner basic session. So that was like the first video for our Forex beginner sessions, the episode 1. And in that video, we were able to cover the introduction to the markets. Please, if you're interested in that video, kindly refer back to the video before this one. Okay, however, in this very video we'll be covering the currency pairs and quotes. I'll be walking you through understanding forex pairs, bid, ask, and spread. So without wasting time, let's get started immediately. Now, when we trade forex, or when you trade the forex market, you are usually not dealing with individual currency, you're dealing with currency pairs. This simply implies that trading does not involve just one currency, it actually involves two currencies. Okay, when you go to the market to buy something, or when we talk about trade in its basic form, it involves buying what and selling. Okay, so that means there has to be two things involved. Okay, there has to be a buyer, there has to be a seller. Now, in currency pairs, we are talking about the base and the quote currency. Okay, let's take it back a little bit to when we were in school, where we learn division. Usually you notice that the number at the top is known as the numerator and the number below is usually known as the denominator, and this also implies to the forex market. The first number is usually the base currency and the second number is usually the quote currency. Okay, for instance, we have Euro USD here. Euro standing in as the base currency and US dollar standing in as the quote currency. Now, the quote itself tells you how much of the quote currency that you need to buy the base currency. Okay, it's telling you how much of the US dollar that you need for you to be able to get or to be able to buy just 1 unit of the euro. Okay, so now you need to understand that when price is going up, it simply means that the base currency is getting stronger. In this case, the euro is gaining more value over the USD. And whenever price is going down, which also means when price is selling, it implies that that same base currency, in this case the euro, is getting weaker as against the US dollar. Okay, so it's just as simple as that. Now, when we talk about currencies or currency pairs, we have three major types. We have the major pairs, we have the minor pairs, and we have the exotic pairs. Now, these major pairs, they are the most traded and they are the most liquid currency pairs in the forex market. And the easiest way to identify these currency pairs are that they have USD attached to them. Okay, the two pairs, there has to be one that is the US dollar. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, so the US dollar is either playing the role of the base currency or the quote currency. For example, we have the Euro USD, and in this pair, you see that the euro is the base currency here and the USD is playing the role of the quote currency. In GBP USD, the case is the same, but in USD JPY, you see that the case is not the same. The US dollar here is playing the role of the base currency and the JPY is playing the role of the quote currency. We have the USD CHF, we have the AUD USD, we have the USD CAD, we have the NZD USD. Notice that in this pairs, there is USD present in each of these pairs. Of course, you can see the full meaning of each and every one of them. I will always recommend that you get conversant with the full meaning. However, when we are trading, we always make use of the symbols, which makes it easier for you to, familiarize with. Okay, so as you can see here, the USD JPY is more like the US dollar against the Japanese yen. We have the US dollar CHF, which is the US dollar and the Swiss francs. We have the AUD USD, that is the Australian dollar over the USD dollar. We have the USD dollar over the Canadian dollar. We have the New Zealand dollar over the USD dollar. Now, the major takeaway in these major pairs is that they have low spreads. Okay, we'll explain spread as we are going forward in this video. They have high liquidity, they have less volatility most of the times. Okay, so that is one thing you just need to know about. Sorry, the three things actually that you need to know about the major pairs. It's just that simple. Now, we also have the minor pairs. The minor pairs are pairs that do not include the USD in them, but they still involve strong economies. Okay, they may not really have the USD attached to them in the pair, but they also involve other strong economies. For example, we have the Euro GBP, that is the Euro and the Great Britain pounds. We have the Euro JPY, the Euro and the Japanese yen. We have the GBP JPY, the pound and the Japanese yen. Okay, now this particular currency pair, you may not see USD in them. In fact, you will never see USD in them. They don't include USD, but they are actually they actually involve other like strong economies. Okay, now these pairs, the major getaway there is that they have higher spreads and they have moderate liquidity. Okay, now we also have the exotic pairs. These exotic pairs usually involve one currency. Okay, it involves one major currency and one from an emerging or smaller economy. Okay, so there has to be one major currency in them and then one that is coming from not a strong economy this time like the minor currency, but a smaller economy. Okay, not the stronger economy like we have in the minor pairs, but we have the smaller economy. For example, we have the USD TRY, that is the USD Turkish Lira. We have the Euro versus the Nigerian Naira. We have the USD South African Rand. We have the USD Swedish Krona. Now, the major getaway for these exotic pairs is that they have high spreads, they have low liquidity, and they have high volatility. Now, when you come to the forex market, you will see most people trade more of the major and the minor pairs. Okay, some people focus on the major pairs, and some people also have a mixture of the both of them. That is the major and the minor. Okay, for me, I trade both the major and the minor because I always like to have the JPY pairs in my list. Okay, so that is it for the currency pairs and the types of currency pairs. Now let's get conversant with the bid, ask, and the spread. Okay, now when you look at your broker's codes, you find your broker's codes maybe when you check your MT5, the first page. That's where you see the codes. When you come to the trading view, the first page too, that shows you usually the prices for each currency that you have in your watch list. Okay, let's call it the watch list for trading view. Yeah, so when you look at them, you notice that there are often two prices for the same pair. Okay, and those two prices, one is the bid price and the second is the ask price. Now, this bid price simply means the price at which the market or the broker is willing to buy from you. So in other words, it is the price at which you are willing to sell to the broker or to your broker. Now, the ask price is the price at which the market is willing to sell to you. On the other hand, it simply implies the price at which you are willing to buy from the market. Now, the spread, like I said, we will talk about, is now the difference between the ask and the bid price. That means when we have the two prices, which is the bid and the ask price, you minusing the bid price from the ask price will give you the spread, and this spread is your broker's commission. Okay, that is their profit, because a lot of people usually wonder, oh, what is the benefit of these brokers that bring the market closer to us, that are the what are we called again? We are usually called the retail traders, right? So you probably wonder where your broker makes profit from, and this is your answer. It's usually the spread. Okay, so anytime you execute a trade, whether or not you win that trade, your broker has something to gain in that trade, and that thing it is gaining, be it the commission or the profit, is known as the what? Spread. So in essence, you buy at ask price and then you sell at what? Bid price. Now the spread is the cost of entering that trade. I hope this was very I took my time to simplify these things to make it very understandable, not too much grammar. So it's something you just get straight to the point. Okay, so the major summary in all of these things we talk about is, like, this is me trying to take us back a little bit, okay, just to refresh our brain, to give us the major tips from everything we've talked about so far. Okay, now the base currency, like we said before, is the first currency in the pair. Okay, that is EUR in Euro USD, okay, or the euro in the Euro USD pair. Okay, so we have the quote currency, which is really the second currency, which shows the price of the base. Okay, USD in the Euro USD. So we also have the major pair. The major pair, like we said before, are pairs that include the USD in them. For instance, the Euro USD, the GBP USD, USD JPY, and the rest of them. We also have the minor pair, and these are pairs that do not have any USD in them, but they still include major currencies. They still include they include major economies or strong economies like the Euro JPY. We also have the exotic pairs. One is usually the major one, okay, and one is the smaller economy. So the exotic pair, like we said, usually involves one major currency and one currency from a smaller economy, just like the USD and the Nigerian Naira. Now the bid price, they are price you sell at, okay. Then the ask price, they are price you buy at. The spread is simply the difference between the two of them, the difference between the bid and the ask price. I don't know if this was simple enough, and I hope this video is quite precise enough for you to get all the points here. This is the end of this particular section. If you were able to watch to this very point, this is me saying thank you for sticking through to the end, and I really hope you got value, no matter how little. And if you got value in this, I want you to just do one thing for me. You hit the subscribe button there, and tap the notification so that you will get my video alerts each time I drop new video, or rather you will even be the first to get the alert whenever I drop new videos. In this channel, I'll be dropping back-to-back videos on my trade breakdowns, on I will be talking very extensively about the Forex basics, and we'll also get into the advanced stage very soon, so that we'll be able to carry advanced traders along, the intermediate traders, okay, not just the new traders or aspiring traders. So you want to stick through, or you want to stick to this channel for you to get more value from me. Thank you so much on this one. Bye. We'll see again on the next one.